Bitcoin is in a scary position right now, but altcoins are also getting dragged down, and all the signs show that what's about to happen will be bad. So check this out.
Going into this chart here, we have Bitcoin continuing, and I'm going to go over some other cryptos because I have some other levels for you. But basically, look at this pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, inside bar, lower level. Let's talk bear flags, okay? Bear flags occur when you get a sharp move down and you get in the lower, especially the lower 25% of that candle, you get sideways movement, a right angle. A perfect bear flag is a 90-degree angle. What we call an in spirit of bear flag is 90 to 45 degrees. So it could be upsloping ever so slightly, a 45-degree angle. It would still be bearish. Anything less, if you go like that, not that bearish, not worth the trade. This is a bear flag. This means that probabilities are favoring at some point another drop. You'll have support around 28,500. That's coming from, now you can't see it on this chart. Let me zoom out a little bit here. That's coming from, let me see, oh yeah, right here. This pivot high right here, that'll be some support. My big level remains 27,000 right now. It is an upsloping trend line, so in a week it's probably gonna be 27,200. That's fine. Upsloping trend lines go up, so you have to go with it. That's the level. That is what it is. As I've said to you guys a million times over, as long as this line holds, then crypto, honestly, is okay. It's in a safe zone. If this line here breaks, that's where you have to start being concerned. You could start breaking here, here, and maybe even retesting the lows.
So, according to Gareth, and as you can see in this chart, a bear flag is forming in Bitcoin, which is the continuation of a strong down move, followed by a consolidation channel before it drops again. But if Bitcoin keeps dropping, will it create new lows and wipe out everyone?
What do you think about, Bitcoin getting to 12 to 13,000, or even the lows of 15, or maybe even where your worst case was 9 to 10,000? And I say this, the only way Bitcoin goes down to 15.7 or down to even lower is if you have a credit or liquidity crisis. And I'm not talking about in crypto. Crypto already has a liquidity crisis. Ask anyone trying to trade altcoins or NFTs. There's no liquidity. What I'm talking about is in the stock market. If you got the NASDAQ or the S&P to fall back to the October lows, and I'm talking October 2022, so we're talking 20, 25% down, you will see Bitcoin panic and see sellers bring it down there as well. You will have essentially a crisis there. So that is really the only way I see Bitcoin revisiting the 15.7. The problem is, I actually believe that that's gonna happen. All right, more and more data showing us, inverted, whether it's inverted yield curve or this or that or everything else. As much as the Fed wants to say, and I talked about this yesterday, guys, Jerome Powell comes out and says we're not predicting a recession. I literally go back to 2008 in January, I think it was, of 2008, and Ben Bernanke's like, we don't think we're gonna have a recession. I'm like, okay. This is a confidence builder, so, and this is the thing, is like, everyone has to remember, these are academics. They basically have feelings, they're human. They don't want a recession, they want a soft landing. They want to be heroes. They want to redeem themselves from calling inflation transitory when we ultimately found out it wasn't. But human psychology means that we tend to repeat our errors. And by the way, I repeat my errors too, unfortunately. I try to learn from them, but we all repeat them. And this is, again, something you have to be aware of. Ben Bernanke said it in 08, and here we have a new Fed chair, Jerome Powell, saying it again. And also, and I pointed this out yesterday, puts are as cheap. The cheapest they have been right now, where the last time was in 08. Take it for what it is, whatever it is.
Without new liquidity and trust in these markets, crypto may be in a bad spot right now. Benjamin Cowan even showed a couple of days ago that in every cycle that Bitcoin had its first half of the year green, the end of the year was always red. And if history repeats itself, all signs show we're going lower now. And it's not just Bitcoin, but the whole crypto market.
Let's look at Ethereum real quick. I just have a couple minutes left. Ethereum, longer term channel. This is going to be your support level. That should coincide with the 27,000 level on Bitcoin if it gets hit. You have a little bearish pattern developing, so you're talking about 1775. If that breaks, then you start same kind of issue as with Bitcoin, you start to have some trouble. Let's look at Matic. real quick, Matic is holding this technical support right here. If that breaks, you'll have some more support right around the 65 cent area. Should be pretty good support in there. One of the things that's concerning me a little bit about Matic, I want to show you guys this, and I'm going to zoom in so we can see it a little bit more clearly, is that if we draw a trend line right here, we've actually broken this trend line. So that would be the equivalent of the Bitcoin trend line and the Ethereum trend line that haven't broken yet. So what that tells us is that altcoins are weaker and at more risk than Bitcoin, right? And again, you have a little bit of a bearish pattern here. This breaks, and we really could honestly revisit the 55 cent level. Lastly, I'll just go over Cardano, guys, and I'll try to bring a few other cryptos into the mix. But again, the beauty of it is, even if you don't trade crypto, charting is charting. Always remember that. So if you're like, oh, I couldn't care less about Matic or Cardano, that's okay because you're learning. Learn, folks. Always learn. All right, here, take a look at this. Look at this. Cardano is just holding on. Look at it. Pivot low, pivot low, pivot low, pivot low, pivot low, pivot lows. Holding on. It's literally like on the side of the cliff with its nails right here, and it's just holding on. Maybe it holds. Maybe it starts to rally. But if this breaks, watch out below.
So you may want to watch this video next, especially if you're also invested in altcoins, to learn more about what's about to happen and how you can protect yourself from huge losses.